Good evening, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. My name's Dan and I do triathlon. Welcome to my pain cave, wattage cottage, whatever you want to call it. It's my indoor training setup. Now in the UK at the minute we're on a lockdown, so whilst we're legally allowed to train outside, a lot of people have made the decision to train indoors only, myself included. So I thought I'd share my training setup. Now I've seen a lot over the last few weeks, and 95% of the setups I've seen are like, amazing. No cables, no clutter, amazing technology, top of the range equipment, and that's great to see. But I sit there and I think that's probably not true for a lot of people, myself included. So a lot of people, we've got limited space, limited budget, limited equipment and all that. So I thought I'd share what I've got. And I'm very lucky to have the setup I've got, and I'm going to share what I've got and why. And hopefully some of you can take some tips away from here, but if not, if you think I've done something wrong and you know something better, let me know down below. Always learning. Right, let's start with the actual space I've got. So I'm very lucky to have, or be allowed to use, about a third of a double garage. So that's quite a lot of space. But I'm sure you'll agree, when you ride bikes or do triathlon, you'll fill whatever space you've got within 10 minutes with all the ramble. So let's go. Right, first off, with the bike, this is my indoor bike training setup. This is a Watt Atom, not sponsored. Everything here is paid for, no sponsorship deals at all. It takes up, the footprint wise, very little space. Compared to a bike on a turbo, it's actually about a metre shorter. And that's exactly how I sold it to Liz, my other half. I was like, if I could buy one of these, it'll save loads of space. And that's how it was approved, so that's great. So I train on that. I'll leave my shoes on the pedals because there's no point taking them off. And that's what I ride on. Cooling wise, I've got a big fan in front of me. Now you'll see there's a treadmill next to the bike. I'll come into that in a minute. But basically I have this fan in front of my bike there for maximum cooling. I can reach the buttons to turn it on and off underneath while I'm on the bike. And when I'm on the treadmill, I can just turn it around and it serves as a fan for the treadmill as well. I've not got to have two. Now whilst I'm on the bike, I'm keen to work on a TT position. So got a mirror, not just for vanity, but also for TT position. You can see where your head is, where your arms are, shoulders, etc. So that's quite good. It's not so good for when you're on the treadmill because, well, I do anyway, everything jiggles around a bit too much, doesn't it, when you're on the treadmill? So, whilst I'm on the bike, technology-wise, I will always have my laptop next to me. So I'll have my laptop on here, on this nice fancy stand. It's a good angle if I'm going to do a live stream or something. I can reach it for Zwift power-ups. I can change what's on Netflix and so on. I'll connect that just to power on an extension lead. And I'll run that to a TV that I'll actually watch the game on if I'm Zwifting. So this is the TV here, so I'll run it from sort of, my laptop's there, I'll run it to here and I'll actually look at this while I'm riding. So I've also got a big speaker set up down here. So it's good visibility, I can have my head up while I'm looking at it. So I'm not like twisting my neck or looking down, I'm actually looking up in a vaguely a row position. So yeah, that's all right. Towards the back of the garage, now that's a bit of like a workshop zone. So I've got a TT bike on a stand. I don't really do too much work there, if I'm honest. If I'm going to do a big job, I'll take it outside if the weather's okay. But it is enough space to do a little bit of tinkering, as I love to do. Next to that, just a bit of storage. So my bike box, that's probably not going to come out for a while, is it? In there, I also store stuff, spares, wetsuits, etc. Things that aren't going to come out for a while. A bit further up, I've got a bike in the ceiling. So my winter/climbing bike takes up too much space on the floor, so I just managed to hang it up. This next bit, don't tell me you haven't got one of these areas. This is where all the rubbish, tools, spares, equipment that you don't really know where to put, you just throw it away somewhere. Well, this is it. So yes, it's a bit like organised chaos. If I needed to find something, I'd find it eventually, all right? So there you go. The treadmill, the running setup. So this is a Reebok Jet 600. I see on there I've got my paces written down because it's only in miles and kilometres an hour and I can't compute that in my head to miles per minute. A couple of towels if I'm going to start sweating. Yeah, so Jet 600. It's just like a mid-range treadmill. I think you get them from Argos or any other retailer. They're about £600 new. I bought it second hand. I paid about 300 quid for it a couple of years ago. So it's been, touch wood, okay. Next to the treadmill, now this was going to be like my strength area. In reality, I don't really do too much strength work. So I put my rollers down there with a view to learning how to ride on the rollers so I can bump against my treadmill and the shelving. But again, I'm not really too good on the rollers, so I haven't really used it much. The plan is to get the TT right on the rollers and use that as like a position tweaking zone, but I'll let you know how that goes when I get there. Other bits of technology that I'll use in the garage, I'll also keep a power pack close to me in case anything's dying, so phone, GoPro, etc. And then next to me I'll have various cables. I've got some headphones, GoPro cable, phone wire, all of that just to keep things charged. I've also got my swim resistance bands on here. I'm trying to, every time I come in the garage, I don't do a specific strength session, but if I'm doing a bike session, before and after, I'll do 2 or 3 minutes of swim band work. just to try and get some sort of swim fitness. Things I also keep to hand: mole grips. I always use these, breaking stuff, twisting stuff, cutting stuff. I use them that often, I just leave them out. And then baby wipes. Now these are quite handy, not for me, but more for the equipment. So when you're training indoors, you're sweating a lot, and that sweat sits on your equipment and does quite a lot of damage. It's quite corrosive. So having some baby wipes to hand, when you finished a particularly deep session, just get a baby wipe out, just give it a quick wipe over, and it'll work wonders. I particularly look after the Watt bike because they're not cheap, and I don't particularly want to replace it. I've had it nearly 2 years now, and it seems to be absolutely spot on. So baby wipes work. Nutrition wise, I will always keep a lot of food to hand in life in general, but also when I'm training. So on the treadmill here, I've got a couple of gels, a couple of bars, probably need to top up that stock actually. And then in here, I've got a bit more like slow burn stuff. So if I'm on a long bike ride, I can reach over and just eat some mulled loaf or some rice cakes. Whatever I need really, because sometimes you get on the bike and you might just not feel 100%. You might not plan to have done a long ride or need any nutrition, but you might just want something. So having it to hand really, really helps. And it's one less thing to forget to have to bring into your training area. And I think, in a nutshell, that is it. That is my training setup. So there's not much to it really. As I said, over the years I've sort of amended it, and sometimes I've had some fancy stuff and it's not really worked. I've dialed it back to something a bit more straightforward. I'm really interested here. Would you do anything differently with that setup? Let me know down below. I think I should move something around, or there's a bit of equipment that I need to get, a new bike, etc. You let me know. Also, if you want to share your training setup, think you've got any tips for me, or you just want to share your setup, I'll leave my Instagram down below. Slide in those DMs, send me a picture. I'll share it in the next video. I think that's about it. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button and the like button. And that's it. See you later.